It's your boy, Paulus Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Hey, guess what? It's your first time tuning in. Go ahead. Hit doggone subscribe button. Hit notification bell every time I post up new content. Hey, sorry about that from earlier. Uh, but look, tasted beverage is still here, right? I got another one in there. Matter of fact, since we talking about tasted beverages, today's show is being brought to you in part by the lovely people that make this fantastic drink. For local, for the most part, if y'all been on watching my channel for a pretty good while, y'all already know that 9 times out of 10, I done had every goddamn flavor that I particularly enjoy as far as like while I do the show. Now, did these people actually really come to me and say, hey, look, advertise our product? No, the fuck they didn't. But just because I enjoy this fantastic drink so motherfucking well, I decided to do it myself. This is for later on. This right here is for right now. This is like Seagram's Extra Dry Gin and Dr. Pepper with the 23 flavors, which I only taste one. But hey, it is. If they say it's 23, it's 23. Subject at hand or subjects at hand. Uh, Shout out to my friend that actually really brought this to my attention. And what's so bad about it, I saw it on my feed, right? But I'm just thinking, okay, uh, here's somebody that died, they had the baby, then they died. But then I had no idea that the woman died, but the baby was, she, it was during her pregnancy or whatever. So to the lawmakers in the state of Georgia, y'all some old brain dead motherfuckers, right? And I'm pretty sure it's not just the state of Georgia. I'm pretty sure it's some old bonehead motherfuckers. Well, I already know it's some bonehead motherfuckers here in the state of Arkansas. And it's bonehead motherfuckers far as like governors, across this country, right? Uh, for y'all to actually really take the rights away from that family. All you motherfuckers need to be strung up either by your titties or by your balls or put a hook in your asshole and hang you up some damn where. That's just how I feel about this shit. Because this just goes to show that even at death, you can't even sleep because they feel like that they owe you something. To my understanding, the family like, hey, look, the my daughter is dead. Let's go ahead and terminate. But because of the bullshit law, y'all kept this woman from resting when Yahweh took her and said, hey, look, you know what? Time to come in the house. And you bastard said, oh, the street light ain't came on yet. Don't fucking matter. When Yahweh say, hey, come in the house, that's what the fuck you do. But apparently the lawmakers in the state of Georgia thought otherwise. When President Trump said, hey, look, far as like abortion goes, guess what? I got too much shit I got other shit to worry about. So I'm gonna let y'all have it. And then you fucked it up. But then again, I also gotta look at this in fact, okay, well, what did y'all do as a state Y'all passed this law, but who saw it other than y'all? Did you let the people of Georgia see this law? The motherfuckers that put y'all in office. Did you let them see the law? Because I already tell you 9 times out of 10, that wasn't the motherfucking case. Y'all didn't show shit to nobody. Or it could be just for the simple fact that people don't have enough about themselves to, hey, to go and go on the state, on your state's website and see what type of laws are being passed. That way y'all can go down there and say either yay or nay. But then when nobody don't show up, guess what the state of Georgia gonna do? They gonna pass it. A lot of stuff that we as people, regardless of motherfucking color, but then even again, it ain't even the right motherfucking color. I swear, you bastards, I swear, I ain't never seen a whole bunch of grown ass motherfuckers that don't know they goddamn colors. And I said this shit yesterday. Or whenever I did whatever the last time I did the show. Right? My look, my heart goes out to the family. Really does. Right? Because y'all can't leave y'all baby to rest. And so, for the most part, we can like look at this and be like, okay, well, hey, it's funny. Juneteenth was just yesterday. But here it is. This woman been dead since February. Where's the freedom in that? Right? And then you got to ask yourself, okay, well, funeral costs, right, to lay their baby to rest, that's money. You kept this woman's baby from resting longer than what the fuck you should have. That is going to cost money. Now that the baby is being born, now y'all got the baby in an incubator or whatever, that's going to cost money. So who's going to foot the bill on this? Because if I was the mama, I was like, no. I'm not paying it. This is just something that the state of Georgia is gonna have to have going. Y'all gonna have to deal with this one, right? But they're like say, I'm not saying that I'm straddling the fence because for the most part, right, I don't believe in abortion, right? If you drop your drawers and gap your legs and right until something happens, right, then that's your responsibility because you was aware enough for the most part to drop your drawers, open your legs, and then whatever the motherfucking position that you wanted it in, you allowed that shit to happen, right? But my whole deal is, okay, but when you die and you can't even rest in peace because of some bullshit law that the state implemented, right? And then you got to be like, okay, so who's gonna foot the bill on this? They already have enough problems just for the funeral cost alone. That right there. is enough. And then who's to say? I mean, since we talking about laws and shit, what, I'm for the family. I'm for the family, right? But if the state of Georgia didn't allow you, we put like this, if the state of Georgia delayed when you can put your own child to rest, what makes you think that you finna get your grandbaby? I mean, if we talking about laws here, I mean, I grant the fact a lot of people can sit up here and be like, okay, well, the mama's dead, so yeah, automatically the child is gonna go to whoever is living in the family, right? But but dig this, right? And this is probably in any state, right? If the state say no, you can't do this, knowing that you family, right? Then just know that your child is going to go to the state. How I know this? Because what happened in my family, damn. Okay, listen, 42 years, 42 years, well, it will be 40 plus years that my auntie died, right? And great the fact, although it was family, all kinds of family, all kinds of family that was willing to take up on that responsibility. Now, um, I mean, great the fact I was young at the time, but I do remember um, my cousins. They being, I don't want to say foster care, but they did bounce around a whole lot because the state, the state of Arkansas, for whatever fucking reason, didn't recognize the rest of the family. And so 9 times out of 10, this is what the fuck is going on. It's probably what the fuck is gonna happen with this. Because if the state of Georgia said, hey, no, you can't terminate that pregnancy. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, the state of Georgia is gonna say, hell no. Even though that's your grandson, no, you can't raise your own grandson. Right? Will it happen? I hope it don't. But if it does happen, then yeah, y'all already know where the fuck y'all heard it from first. This is bullshit on the highest level. And then, well, if it's at the highest level, then I mean, well, yeah, you probably had to create some shit because this is like diabolical. This is like, damn, motherfucker can't even rest in peace, right? It's like, okay, no, well, yeah, we know you dead, but we gotta get this baby out of you. And then it ain't even too sure that this baby is gonna survive. And then even if it do survive, who's gonna have custody? And then who's to say that the state of Georgia, because of this bullshit law, they can sit up here and lie to the family, say, hey, look, the baby died. And they throw all that medical mama jumper in your face, you not knowing what the fuck they talking about, you can be like, okay, well, 9 times out of 10, there was bound to happen anyway. But the thing about it though is this: anytime when medical technology has gotten to the point where that they can actually really stop your heartbeat for at least 2 minutes, right? Bring your ass back to life. And then for the most part, you as the individual, you really don't know what the fuck happened. Right? So what makes y'all think that once this baby actually really comes of age, right, that they can't do the same thing to that baby? Or or just for the simple fact, like if the baby meant that much to the state of Georgia, which apparently it did, the mama dad take the baby out, put it in, I don't know how many of y'all actually remember test tube babies back in the day. Now, if any of them are still living, I don't know. But it's just for the simple fact, right? You didn't let that woman, for the most part, you can't even say rest in peace, rest in power. You can't do that because shit. This was February. This is June. So tell me what the fuck is wrong with that goddamn picture. I wish my family would try to keep me around longer than what the fuck I need to be here for. Yes, I'm a beautiful motherfucker. I'm an outstanding motherfucker. I'm the crazy uncle. I say shit that ain't nobody else gonna say. Right? But when Yahweh say, hey, bring your ass in the house. God damn it, let me go in the house. I can still see y'all. But just know that I'm not outside no more. No state has that right to be like, hey, no, you ain't finna play God, or you ain't finna play Yahweh here. That ain't your goddamn job. It ain't. It never was. So stop. Cause it's shit like this. And I try not to say motherfucker as much as I can, but when I hear shit like this, I can't help but to call y'all motherfuckers. Ignorant motherfuckers, evil motherfuckers. Y'all didn't let that woman rest because of your bullshit law. And just know y'all finna lie to the grandma. Y'all finna lie to the grandma. Y'all gonna kill that baby off for medical research. Let y'all tell it. And I wish motherfucker would come after me. Because this is freedom of speech. Don't give me freedom of speech and then let this next bastard over there talk about, well, I'm gonna sue you because of what the fuck you said. What happened to my freedom of speech? I get in this country 21 years. I wish you bastards would come out to me talking about suing me. You ain't finna get shit. Ain't finna get a goddamn dime out of me. But my whole deal is this, people. Go on your state's website. See what the fuck is going on. So this shit won't happen no goddamn more. I mean, I regret the fact, I don't know the whole story. I really don't. But it's just for the simple fact, okay, this woman died. And y'all kept her around. Or at least this is what the fuck y'all want everybody to motherfucking believe. Because my thing is this, the grandpa said, oh, the baby was born around 4:41 a.m. Flip that shit is 144. And we already know what 144 represents, right? So, again, this uh all bullshit aside, right? This is sad. And this is a different type of sadness, right? It's yeah, it's just a different type of sadness. And then to the Smith family, right? I wish y'all the best in this. I really do. Because I'm just like, no, let me rest. Y'all went and called me home. Look, why the fuck you keeping me around for? Like seriously. So I'm actually really done with that. Done with that. I'm gonna say this last little bit, then I'm gonna get out of here. But so yesterday was Juneteenth, and so uh, I watched some. We watched. I watched shit yesterday. I've been watching shit today, and then for the most part, a lot of, especially like here in the state of Arkansas, right? Um, they, they doing shit today and they doing shit tomorrow. 9 times 10, they probably doing shit on Sunday, right? But in either case, I heard what Judge Joe Brown said about the whole Juneteenth thing, and then for the most part, it just goes to show you that even way back then, you had the next Tuesday, motherfucker, right? Because and but then again, other than besides Dane Calloway, right? I'm still waiting for somebody, and well, he says it, but I say it too. But Dane is on some other shit. He like, okay, everybody listen to Dane, but ain't nobody finna listen to the crazy uncle. Which, okay, I'm cool with that, right? But at the same time, for motherfuckers that actually I really know or knew before Dane Calloway even came on the scene. If y'all actually really knew the true meaning behind Juneteenth, if indeed it should be even classified as a national or as a federal holiday today, right? Or yesterday, right? You got to be like, okay, but you still bring your ass on a motherfucking uh, podcast or whatever, and you say you put like this, you come close, but you don't never motherfucking hit the target. Just like say Officer Tatum, I good content, but dog, come on now, where are the goddamn slave ships? Where are the ships that so-called brought us over? And then you almost got to ask yourself, okay, so who went and captured us back in Africa? If indeed that was the motherfucking case. A lot of y'all some bitches that sit up here and holler about, okay, well, we got sold down the river. Okay, say you got sold down the river, or we got sold down the river. Guess what? You didn't make it to the other side because the thing about it though is this, during that time frame, right? Where the fuck was you gonna go? You didn't know where the fuck you was going. You didn't know how the car was gonna take you. You didn't know none of that shit. But you got all these motherfuckers on the boat, right? Of course, the people that y'all captured, so-called captured, what are y'all captured or then y'all bought them off. Where the fuck you going once you get your ass out there on that water? Where you going? Like, seriously. Fuck y'all going. And then where the goddamn slave ships? Where? Where are the slave ships? But then again, it's kind of funny that with that would happen with this family. And depending on who the fuck you talk to, they say they found some. They say, you know, this. I mean, great fact, it's been a few years back, but I mean, now they didn't come out saying, well, we might have found what we think is the slave ship off of the sword, off of the down there around the in Georgia, you know, off of what the fuck used to be called Gulf of Mexico, right? But they claimed that they didn't find some shit down there, but then come to find out that ain't what the fuck. It ain't what the fuck it thought. What they thought it was. So again, where the slave ships at? Y'all celebrating shit and not really too cool, really not really knowing if slavery even happened, if it actually really even happened, right? Everybody wasn't slaves. Everybody wasn't slaves, people. My grandma, my great grandma, my great aunt, they never said shit about coming off no motherfucking boat. So where y'all get this shit from? 1619? At least that's what the fuck y'all say. But what about the motherfuckers that was already over here? Make this shit make sense. So, you know, again, they finna you put like this. Grandma, they finna use your grandson for medical research. You are probably, and I hate to say it, and I hope that it's not the case. But 9 times out of 10, you ain't gonna see your grandson. You will never see your grandson. You know, but I hope that you do because being a being a grandparent, right? It's like the greatest feeling in the it's like the greatest feeling in the world, right? So I hate it for you. I feel your pain, right? Because I'm a grandfather 4 times over. So you know, I know how it goes. I love all my grandbabies. I mean, great the fact I only get to see 2 of them at a time, right? But in our case, I love I love my family. I love my babies, my grown babies. You know, my son, um, my daughter. I mean, you know, damn. I love my kids, and just know that neither one of them, right? The Martindale blood doesn't flow through neither one of them, but it's just for the simple fact that my son and my daughter, they recognize me as such. And I got four of the most beautiful grandchildren ever, right? So, but again, to the Smith family, I feel your pain. I feel your pain, but I just hope, I sincerely hope that the state of Georgia will do right about you and your grandson. I really do. It's really fucked up. So I'm done. I'm done. I ain't gonna say shit else. So, uh, look, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your big Dan, tell Big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, most definitely your granny and papa. Motherfucker next door, cross street, round the corner. Paulus Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Hey, look, I'm gonna holler at y'all.